Spiritual psychosis is when a person experiences extreme spiritual or mystical experiences that interferes with their everyday life. Their perception of reality can be altered. They can experience delusions and especially feeling completely disconnected. Spiritual psychosis can happen for many reasons. When you are practicing without grounding, when you are involved way too deep in occult practices without the proper training or the proper knowledge. Another reason one may experience spiritual psychosis is if they have unbalanced energy. Unsolved trauma, lack of the proper guidance, proper mentors or elders. Mental health issues can also overlap. Those who have dissociation disorder, those who have schizophrenia, those who have bipolar disorder can experience spiritual psychosis when involved in deep spiritual practices without the proper knowledge, proper steps, and the things that are required of such practices. A lot of people who are experiencing spiritual psychosis tend to have a divine type of energy, where they feel like a divine being, as if they are above everybody else, or they feel like they have a divine mission that is bigger, greater than everybody else and everything else. They're at the center of the universe, or the world revolves around them. We're talking about missions or feeling divine without reason. So if they're hearing and seeing things that have cause for their everyday life to be interrupted, where they cannot sleep, they cannot eat, they're thinning, or they're bloating, that is not only the symptoms of a spiritual attack, spiritual warfare, it is also a spiritual psychosis. Intense paranoia or fear of negative entities, spirits, ghosts, anything that is in the world unseen, having a great fear of that, especially if those things are causing it to be hard to function in everyday life. Spiritual psychosis happens when a person is under a lot of spiritual stress. If they're not balanced, if they don't have a proper understanding, proper guidance, this can lead them to spiritual psychosis. A lot of the times, negative energies, entities will grab a hold of those who are new to spiritual practices, who are entering, dabbling, opening portals without the proper understanding, can cause about for spirits to mess with their heads or for them to lose sight of reality because they are creating their own reality, involving in spiritual psychosis. There is a very big difference between a spiritual psychosis and a spiritual awakening. Understanding that there is a world beyond what you can see and actually becoming part of that is different from losing sight of reality. Understanding that we have our reality, our dimension also exists, as well as the spiritual world and the dimension that we cannot see with the naked eye. It is very important to understand the difference between spiritual awakening, being spiritually aware, and walking in that path slowly and carefully, in spiritual psychosis,